get some help with your day-to-day tasks, or just outsource something that is not in your zone of genius. So because you're like the queen of virtual assistant trainings and like handling everything, so I just wanted to have a little bit of a chat with you today to maybe just give a little bit of an overview of like what you're doing offline, and obviously how to best get into virtual assistants, and like how to find the right fit for you as like for any kind of business out there.
Yeah, so I'll get started by just, a backstory of me. So I started out as a virtual assistant over 6 years ago. I left my legal job as an executive assistant to embark on virtual assistant world. It was pretty unknown then, and I DIY'd everything and learned it myself, but I absolutely loved it. And then I worked with some pretty amazing business owners, coaches, a lot of coaches actually, that were really successful, and I credit to them for, bringing me on as a virtual assistant. Hi, Melissa. And then I pivoted into online business management, which we can get into, which is similar to like an office manager, but for online businesses, and I'll explain the differences soon. And then, then I decided I should teach it. Everyone was asking me, well, how do I become a virtual assistant? Where do I start? And that's where the VA Kickstarter course was born, to teach women how to sort of get started as a virtual assistant, but also set up those essential foundations of your business. And it's not just for virtual assistants, actually. It can be for anyone wanting to start up their online business. So, I cover things like how to set up your own website, insurance, contracts, social media, how to work with clients, all those sort of things. So, I coach virtual assistants, new and experienced, as well as working with established businesses as an online business manager. I do a lot of strategy planning, coaching, mentoring. It's almost like I work with everyone from every stage, from beginning right through to very experienced, because I've got all of that, level of knowledge. I just love it, and tech is my thing, strategy is my thing. Yeah. So did I go off on a tangent there? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's really good as well, because like, as you know, you have such a fountain of knowledge of from the very beginning to very experienced. So that's really good. And like, we connected, I think like last year about this time with Katie Hawkins. Because I was just networking at the time. Sorry?
Yeah, I almost forgot that, because I was like, how did we meet? And then Katie was like, you're my two favorite people. I'm like, yeah, that's right. She did introduce us. And then we've met up a couple of times, and we've kept in contact, and it's just been so great to have you in my corner and support you along the way, and work together as well. So
yeah, and you're definitely my go-to person when it's like, well, at the beginning as well, I was like freaking out. What should I do? Like, so many tasks and so many things that I need to do. But many things are not in my zone of genius. So it was really good when you connected me with Claire, who is like now my go-to person with like things like daily tasks, or like she's helping me as well now with social media. So that was like definitely very, very good. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love connecting people. So connecting virtual assistants or OBMs with business owners who just really need to take, outsource those tasks that are keeping them stuck in their business. So it was great. Yeah, Claire's amazing. She did my VA Kickstarter course, but she was already working as a virtual assistant, so she just had to fine tune a few things in her business, and then it was great to be able to connect you guys together, and you've been working really nicely together. Did you want to explain about you and your business as well? So for anyone that doesn't know exactly what you do.
Sure. We Strive Digital, where we're focusing on online advertising for Facebook and Google Ads, especially for the e-commerce industry. So that's what we're doing, especially now with like Facebook. So it's very interesting, especially with the iOS changes and everything. So that definitely keeps us busy. But yeah, I just love doing it. I've been in digital marketing the last 10 years. So yeah, also like lots of experience in different industries, worked in agencies as well as in in-house marketing positions. So I know both sides. And yeah, like when I started my business, having to do everything yourself, obviously was a very, very different scenario. So it was great to have the opportunity to outsource different things. But like for business in general, because like so many business owners ask me of like, where do you get your copy from? Where do you outsource your daily task? How do you do your social media? And like, I usually say, go to Karen, she will sort you out. But what do you do with like, what are the questions you're usually asking, or how do businesses start getting involved with sort of with
great
virtual
question.
assistants?
I actually have a blog post about this, how to start outsourcing to a VA. So I'm going to reference it because I've got a lot of key points about how to get started. And it can feel overwhelming to think, oh, you know, I've got all this knowledge, only I can do a good job. Yeah, where do I start? So, you know, some of the reasons that might be that you're, you know, holding back on outsourcing can be that you feel overwhelmed just by bringing someone in and seeing the back end of your business. Like some business owners are like, that's all messy and I haven't got everything organized, but that's why you need a VA. You know, you spent a lot of time and energy building up your business. It's like your baby. And so there's a lot of trust that goes into having someone come in and help you. And it's maybe you have the fear of losing control of your business, or you don't have time to show someone what to do.
Yeah.
You're afraid that someone's going to take your business ideas. You don't know what to outsource. You don't know where to find a good VA, or you think you can't afford one. So those are some of the mindset blocks that people have.
I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah. So when should you hire a VA? It should be when you can't seem to get through your to-do list and you can't get ahead each day. You feel like you're behind, or you feel like you're stuck just running your business in the back end, and you can't actually get to those tasks or those, you know, client-facing tasks that actually grow your business and increase your income so that you can scale it. So you really can't scale your business if you're the one just in it, right? You have to outsource. It's key. Maybe you're falling out of love with your business. It's not, you've forgotten why you started it. It's just becoming too much. That's another reason why you should start outsourcing. Yeah, there's so many, but they're just the key ones. And I recommend starting before you're ready. Just get started.
Like everything.
Yeah. You can start with one little task. If you're unsure, start with what's that one task that you do every day that either you don't like, you're not skilled at, taking up too much of your time, or that someone really could do for you. So it's thinking, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So like when I got in touch with Claire, I was like, okay, I have no idea what to do, or like, I just need your help, but I don't know exactly how. And because obviously you helped her as well with like how to exactly handle clients. She then said, okay, let's do this and this and this, and like just give me the information what you need. It's the easiest way, that is the easiest way for you, and we just go from there. And we basically just build it up from there, and it was just like every time just so good. And I can remember exactly one time, I think it was like a few months ago, where we hadn't touched base for a few days, and then she was just reaching out to me out of the blue of like, okay, do you need some help with something? And I didn't even think about it, but it was like, thank God.
Yeah,
so
you're amazing. Yeah, they're the ones to do the thinking for you and be a couple of steps ahead of you. And I train my VAs to, you know, guide the business owner, because usually they jump on and go, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to outsource. And that's where the VA can say, well, let's do it this way. And it's customizing like a working relationship to suit every business owner. Like it's very unique, right? How you want to communicate, what you've got set up in your business, the processes and all that sort of thing. It's just, you know, helping them where they're at, and starting small and then going from there. Just having a starting point is key. So if anyone's watching who has any questions as well, feel free to pop them into the comments, and we're happy to answer them. So just start now. Like you can start small with a small budget as well.
Yeah. Would you then recommend, for example, like with an agency like myself, would you recommend having someone to do all the technical things, do all the social media things? Would you have like specific people for very specific tasks, or would you find like a go-getter that can do everything like a little bit, or what is your like recommendation for that?
So there are VAs that are skilled across multiple things, and that's what I was. So my ambition when I started becoming a virtual assistant was to learn as much as possible across all aspects of digital marketing, so that a business owner could just have me, and then I could do pretty much everything and run their business. And that's why I scaled into the online business management side of things. But yeah, every virtual assistant is different. So they're not going to know all the tools. So some might, be niche into social media management. Others might be email marketing's their thing. So it really is, I recommend having a position description. So what do you ultimately want in a VA? What skills? What tech tools do you want them to learn? Do you need someone who's just going to hit the ground running? Maybe you want to pay that extra bit. So your question there as well. Or are you happy to have a beginner who's going to grow and learn with you, and you've got the time to teach them? So Char has said what hourly rate is to be expected for a VA, so it can really vary. It can vary from a beginner rate, which is $25 an hour, and I'm talking about Australian rates. Of course, there are overseas VAs who charge like $5 per hour, but it really does, that level of service and that skill set does represent that hourly rate, if you know what I mean. So $5 an hour might just be for repetitive tasks that don't need much, what's like guiding, and you teach them and then they can just do it, repeat over and over. And then it can vary right up to $50 or $60 an hour for a very experienced VA, and then you've got sort of going into OBM rates after that. So it really does vary, and it's up to the virtual assistant to set their own rates.
Sorry.
There you go.
Do you have experience with overseas virtual assistants?
Yeah, so I have worked with clients who have used overseas virtual assistants. So a mixed sort of experience, but mainly really good as well. So there are agencies that can connect you with overseas VAs.
And so that was just about my next question. So where would people go if they need a VA? Would they go to you? Would they go like online somewhere, or where would you recommend
so
to get started?
you can definitely come to me. I train, mentor and coach virtual assistants, and inside my VA Kickstarter course, and then I usually get business owners coming to me and saying, I need a virtual assistant who can do this, this and this, and then I will know from my community who is going to be the right fit, and connect the business owner with the virtual assistant, and they can get started that way. Yeah.
Do you have like a specific skill set that you are looking after? Do you like, because obviously, again, from my case, do you have someone that does a lot of technical things? Do you have someone that does a lot of copywriting? Do you have like a mixed bag of skills that you're looking after, or is it?
So virtual assistants can choose to, specialize in whatever services they want and niche into whatever they want. So I'm also working on a Find a VA page where I've got all of my VAs listed there, and depending on what you need, you can type it in there and you'll be able to be connected with the VA. Yeah, so that's coming. It will really depend on that's why I recommend jumping on a Zoom call with a VA and talking to them, finding out what they can do, what they can't do, and going from there, just to make sure the match is right. I also do offer training of VA, so if there's a business owner who wants to find a VA, I can help put a job description together, and then find the right VA, maybe give them some training on some tech tools if they don't know those tech tools, and then integrate them into the business owner's business. So I do offer that as well. But I think it's just important to get organised before you have a VA a little bit. So the VA can do this for you, which is having a project management tool like Asana or Trello, Monday.com, whatever it is. I prefer Asana. But start thinking about, okay, if you were to outsource that task, like your social media, and you have different tools, like you're using Planoly, you've got Canva, different platforms that you're using, start using Loom, Loom, to record your screen, video record your screen, talking through how it is that you usually do this task so that you can teach them, and then build up your SOP library, so standard operating procedures library of all the tutorials, so that your VA can come in and say, okay, this is how you do that. And usually a good VA will say, well, why don't we make this process even better? Have you thought of doing this, this and that? Let's streamline the whole thing and batch it out. So that's how you can start getting organized and having that sitting in Asana as well.
Yeah, so like that definitely helped me with like from at the very beginning, we were just like doing tasks in Slack of like, I need to get that done and that done and that done. And then we moved to a Monday.com, which is now just a little bit better for me with like multiple clients overseas and like internationally and nationally, to have a little bit more structure of like where things sitting. So definitely I can highly recommend having that one. And but also, do you recommend having retainers with virtual assistants, or more like an hourly based, or what do you think is like the smoothest way of like working with a virtual assistant?
Yeah, I think to get started, maybe do a trial, so a month trial where, you know, you could pay up front for that trial if you wanted to, or you can, you know, just have a set amount of hours for that month, and you're going to use that time probably to get set up, get to know one another, set up those processes, how you're going to work together, how are you going to communicate together, because business owners are different with how they want to give you instructions. Like setting it all up can take time. And then the month after that, so once everything's set up and smooth sailing, everyone knows what they're doing, I recommend monthly retainers. So that could be like a package of hours per month that you pay up front in advance before the work actually starts, which is usually a discounted rate. And that way, your time is, you're paying for the VA's time, it's secured in that calendar each week, and they're dedicated to working on your tasks each week, because they do have multiple clients. And so you want to make sure you're a priority. And so that's something that you need to discuss, is when are they going to be doing your work? Do you have designated days and times that you can both get together and communicate and, you know, get those moving through those tasks, or is it going to be a Zoom call? So yeah, I really recommend monthly retainers, or if it's a package, if it's a set tasks within that month, like social media, you could package up. You can agree what that will include, what are the deliverables and outcomes each month. So yeah.
Okay. Another question about because we talked about processes before. Right now, I do have a lot of recordings everywhere of like how I did something, but it's more like a question is, do you think it's worth structuring them out of like have those system as a like process mapped out, or do you think like I don't know, in order to optimize, or do you think like a Loom video is fine, or like I'm just thinking of like how to further optimize things if it's necessary.
I think keep it simple if you can. So some people do write out or type out their process in a Google document. So there's a Loom, and then someone's responsible for, you know, writing it out. But I feel like then that's another job to keep that updated, right? Because things change and your processes change. So why not just keep the Loom library? So you can also invite your team members to your Loom account. You can create a folder in your Loom account and have all of your trainings in there. So you could have an onboarding folder with all the onboarding trainings, so that if that VA does leave, unfortunately, for whatever reason, the next VA can come in, and they're all sitting there for them to go through. So yeah, just think the next time you're showing your VA or you're doing that task, record it, and then when your VA is up to date with, you know, doing that task for you and things have changed, then they're responsible for re-recording that Loom and keeping it in that library. So I also recommend in Monday.com or Asana having your SOP library. So that can just be a list of all of the tasks linked to the Loom video. Okay, so it's all sitting there. I also have a Google document of all of my SOPs. So it's like a double up, but I like to visually see everything in one document. But what's good about having it in Asana is that you can link. So just say you're saying to your VA, can you do this task? I've already recorded it. It's in this task, and you can link that task in the description usually. I'm not sure if Monday.com does that. I'm sure it does. But yeah, it's just being super organized. You could just record that Loom and say to your VA, can you pop it in Asana somewhere, you know, into my SOP library, and they can do that for you. So all you're doing is recording that Loom, they can go into your Loom and find the link. So, yeah.
So many possibilities.
I know.
And you mentioned before there's a lot of, like you mentioned before, OBM and VA. So what is the difference between those two?
Yes, I do have a blog post on this. Where is it?
Of course you did. Of course you do have a blog post of that.
If I can find it now. Here it is. So the difference between a VA. So an OBM is like the coordinator, the manager, and the delegator. So they're responsible for, you know, being up to date on digital marketing strategies. They're going to treat your business with respect as if it were their own, because they're going to be really your right-hand person. They're going to be really proactive at identifying ways that they can help you grow your business. They're always a couple of steps ahead of you. They're across like everything. Is
it like a personal assistant?
Like a personal assistant, yeah. And that's why OBMs charge a bit higher and they have less clients, because it is a very demanding sort of a lot of responsibility. So, and they manage a team as well. So usually the OBM is not doing all the doing. They're delegating and managing the team to make sure they're doing the tasks on time. So it's like project management as well. So, and the virtual assistant is not, you know, is not a less of important role at all. They're the doer, the task master, the superstar supporter, and they're there to get the specific tasks complete. And they go to the OBM for questions and not the business owner. So the business owner is just really freed up to drive the business forward and, you know, probably, you know, show up on social media and show up to that community while everything else is being taken care of by the team. Yeah.
Okay. And how, like, how is the structure usually? You have like one OBM and then like a number of virtual assistants?
Okay. Yeah. And then if you've got contractors as well, they're coordinating or finding the contractors in charge of like a project. And so the business owner can come up with, they're usually the visionary with the ideas, meet with the OBM, and the OBM takes that and knows how to actually make it happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like working with you soon with some integrations and online products and so on. So because like, again, idea is there, execution not so good.
So that's what a lot of business owners have the ideas. They're just like, okay, where do I go from this? It's too overwhelming. But that's where the business owner is great at breaking that down into actionable steps. But then using the team to help make that happen, you know, mapping out the goals and the deadlines and all the mini tasks that need to happen behind the scenes.
Awesome.
I can't wait to work together.
It will be good. Will be very good. So do you have any points that you think would be necessary for people to know, to understand a little bit more about virtual assistants, or any points that we missed or didn't cover yet?
I think getting in your own mind. I've got a position description that I've got. I don't know if I've linked it in my blog post, but I have a template that I use help business owners with to map out, you know, what are the tasks that are taking up all of their time. So I think it's helpful for 1 week if you can write out what are the tasks that you are doing that you really don't need to be doing that someone else could do to free up your time. You could use something like Clockify or Toggle, which is a time tracking app, to just add in your time. That would be a really great way to see, okay, I spent more time on that than I realized. I think it's time someone else can do that. So listing out, like, you know, identifying what you're spending your time on, and out of those tasks, what can be outsourced. And I think the best way is to really just start with that one task. If you're really nervous about getting a virtual assistant, what is that one task that you can have them do to start with? Yeah,
that's a really good tip, especially if you like want to just get your feet wet and like just get started. So that's awesome. So if anybody is wanting a virtual assistant, be connected with the right one for your business, or you don't know how to get started, you're welcome to reach out to me, DM me, and we can have a chat about that, because I've got some amazing virtual assistants who are just awesome at what they do. They're just keen to help business owners and
it really is a game changer when you have that support in your business. You're not so overwhelmed, you're not chasing your tail, because, you know, we started these businesses to give us the freedom, right, to be our own boss and have more time and do the things that we love. So it really is super important to outsource.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely highly recommend reaching out to you. And even if you want to like get started as a virtual assistant, just reach out to Karen, and I'm sure she will take care of you.
Yes, yes. Reach out if you're thinking of becoming a virtual assistant, or someone you know is in their job, they're not enjoying it, and they want to try something new, work online with amazing businesses like Eva. Like, it's incredible the connections we make as well online, I think, and supporting each other. There's just so many more opportunities.
Awesome. Perfect. Yep. Thank you so much for giving me a little bit of an overview of like how to do everything, and as well as like everyone else that is watching. So thank you so much, Karen.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's been my pleasure.
Awesome. Have a great day.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.